The next video is the next installment for the world's greatest ghost, and we're up to the Phantom Dutchman. At 4 a.m, the Flying Dutchman crossed our bows. She emitted a strange phosphorescent light, as of a phantom ship all aglow, in the midst of which light the masts, spars and sails of a brig 200 yards distant stood out in strong relief as she came up on the port bow, where the officer watch from the bridge saw her, as did the quarter-deck midshipmen, who were sent forward at once to the forecastle, but on arriving there no vestige nor any sign whatever of any material ship was to be seen either near or right away to the horizon, the night being clear and the sea calm. This unsettling apparition was reported in those words by a 16-year-old Royal Navy midshipman aboard the British warship Inconstant, steaming off the coast of Australia on July 11, 1881. The report might have been put down to the lad's age, inexperience, and a youthful imagination, except for one thing. The midshipman was none other than Prince George, later to have become King George V of England. The vision was also seen by other men aboard the Inconstant and two sister ships. Later that day, the seaman who had first sighted her fell to his death from a mast top. Some weeks later, the admiral of the fleet died. Over the years, the sea-going belief that bad fortune will dog anyone who sights a Flying Dutchman has often been fulfilled. So what, or perhaps who, was the Flying Dutchman? The name originates from the 17th century, when an unscrupulously greedy Dutch captain, Hendrik van Derken, set sail from Amsterdam to seek his fortune in the East Indies. The voyage went smoothly until the Dutch East Indiaman was rounding the Cape of Good Hope. A fierce storm blew up, ripping the ship's sails to shreds and battering her creaking timbers. But the determined captain, pressed on, ignoring the pleas of his crew. What became of him and his ship is not known, but legend has it that the devil appeared to the captain and urged him to challenge God's will and sail straight into the storm. The Dutchman agreed and brought upon himself the curse of the Almighty, that he and his ship of living dead should roam the seas without ever making landfall until the day of judgment. Most sightings of the Flying Dutchman have been made in the area where legend says she vanished, around the Cape of Good Hope. The phantom vessel has even been spotted from shore. In March 1939, some 100 people saw the phantom East Indiaman. They were all sunbathing on Glencairn Beach in False Bay, southeast of Cape Town, when a fully rigged sailing ship appeared out of the heat haze. It passed across the bay with its sails full, although there was not a breath of wind. The ship seemed to be heading for a distant, isolated beach. But as the crowd of excited witnesses looked on, the mysterious Flying Dutchman vanished as suddenly as it had appeared. In September 1942, 4 people were relaxing on the terrace of their home at Malay Point, Cape Town, when they spotted an ancient sailing ship heading into Table Bay. They followed its progress for about 15 minutes before it disappeared from view behind Robben Island. The story of the Flying Dutchman is fanciful enough. It inspired Wagner's famous opera, but when witnesses of the ghost ship include a future King of England, the sea's best-loved legend becomes difficult to dismiss as just another sailor's yarn. And that ends that installment for the world's greatest ghosts.